clutching their pearls about someone standing a murder. Yeah. When this is the United States of America.
I got to tell you something, that any self-respecting, any extreme revolutionary would view the media class as an acceptable target. Be careful who you're making your bed with. That's what's crazy about it, is that, like, I mean, yeah, they would do this themselves. Do you know how many revolutionaries out there that would want to you? Like, I guarantee you, if somebody goes out and they some of these, one person, I'm obviously not talking about her, I'm just saying anybody in general, and you find out that this person was standing Luigi, everybody would say, rip bozo.
Ooh, that's my cook. Everyone, you boys and girls better be having a great Tuesday morning so far. On this channel, I let you dunk on Asmongold quite a lot, simply because he's just a very dumb person, to be honest. Like, he's well known for playing games and stuff, but in recent, he's been popping off with the most abysmal political takes ever. Like, in one of my last videos about him, I was getting flagged for simply saying that he looked bad in a clip where he said that all trans kids have mentally ill parents. Go watch the clip, he said that verbatim. I was even being charitable, saying that, okay, well, maybe he's talking about the kids that get gerophomic surgery, and that's what he meant, and he didn't clarify that. But my bottom line overall was that he should probably say things slower, or even clarify what the hell he means. Okay. Enough ranting. Why am I talking about him today? Well, he recently talked about a scene reporter known as Taylor Rance, who's been under the spotlight for, loving Luigi Mangione. So like I said before, yeah, most of the time, he says the most moronic things ever, which are also in this video, but in this stream, he might have cooked. Like, let me watch it again with you guys, and I'll show you what I mean. Because I first saw it, for his incredible account on Yeet, please go follow him, and it said, Asmongold offers a stark warning for Taylor Rance. Also, by the way, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, it's a difficult one. After she went viral for glazing Luigi Mangione, revolutionaries hate the media too. And he quotes, be careful who you're making your bed with, they will kill you. I love revolutionaries who hate the media too. Okay, it's like, I want you to know the full context, so I went to his Zach Raw account on Twitch, and I watched the whole thing. Like I said before, he cooked for some parts. In the beginning, it was pretty good, and then on the later, questionable. I'll show what I mean. So from what I remember, it started around 29:30. Let me show real quick. And it's going through Twitter. And I guess his mind sparked a conversation about the reporter. I'll have the webcam down here, and I have him up here, so I can read the chat as well. Because sometimes they drop some crazy takes.
Like, I feel like incel is a great example of this. Do you want to know where the fucking incels are? They're broke. Because you go to the expensive place.
Okay, Asmond, I'm gonna skip a bit forward into the part I want. Sorry.
Well, we can't say that you're not an asshole, but we can say that we support you and we care about you. I actually went, and so I said this the other day.
The fuck's he looking at?
I was awake until like 6 in the morning last night, as usual. And so anyway, I went and I said this, and I was talking about Luigi. I said the only people that support Luigi are mentally ill women who are attracted to them. If he was a fat neckbeard, they want him to face the death penalty. Yeah, think about this. Women want men to face the death penalty that are fat and ugly. And
I'm sorry, but when I saw that, I saw this clip before, and then I saw this tweet after. I was like, he cooked. That's so true. Like, even in one of my last videos, I think I mentioned, in one of my videos about Luigi Mangione, I mentioned people like on r/Sam Piker, glazing Luigi because he looks so good. And Asmund, repeat the same philosophy I had. And I'm not being like, oh my god, he said the same thing as me, he must be right. I just think, in this clip, he's explained it very well. He's right.
And they didn't even kill anybody. Remember Elliot Rodger? That guy looked like a bitch and everybody wanted him dead. But somehow when Luigi does it, it's different. Nah, I'm telling you guys, like, and you...
Okay, no, I disagree with that, because with Elliot Rodgers, he killed, like, innocent people. With Luigi Mangione, his agenda's, way more, like, politically based than, like, that incel. That's not a very good point. That's a very good example, in my opinion.
By the way, if you think this ain't true, go look at the different rallies for Luigi. It's just a bunch of mentally ill young girls. That's it, and it's because he's attractive. Now, I didn't have space in this to type it out, but it's the same energy as when you have some fucking rapist teacher female that is like a 6 out of 10, and then like it's found out that she's been having a sexual relationship with a 12-year-old, and then every comment is a bunch of 55-year-old men with you know, camouflage hats, wraparound sunglasses, and you can see the reflection of their sunglasses. It's them on their own boat, right out in the...
Bro, like that's like the most autistic image ever. Holy shit. I know people like, I know he's definitely has an issue in the head, but like, my god, that was like the most vivid example he just gave.
Water fishing, and them saying, hey, where was she whenever we was in school? You get that, brother? Oh man, I thought about that. Every single fucking time, that's what it is, man. I wish that were me, yes. And so it's the same energy. But anyway, you can listen to this, this girl talking about this. So she's like a journalist, and she talking about this. She talking about Luigi.
Hilarious to see.
Let me go back, turn it up.
Let me go back, turn it up. But yeah, I would just say, you know, that first part, I agree with it, you know. I think Luigi Mangione was, you know, like a 2 foot tall fat person. Yeah, nobody wanna fuck him. Like, nobody would like rally behind him, in my opinion.
Hilarious to see these millionaire media pundits on TV clutching their
for context, I think Taylor's stance is that, you know, we shouldn't demonize Luigi, because in America, you know, we glorify, you know, serial killers. So what's wrong with, you know, with loving Luigi? You know, that's a take.
Girls about someone standing a murderer when this is the United States of America, as if we don't lionize.
I gotta tell you something. That any self-respecting, any extreme murderer revolutionary would view the media class as an acceptable target. Now,
do I agree with that take? I'm not sure entirely, because I'm not sure if they would go after like media people, like journalists, but I do feel like, you know, it's like a luck of the draw, you know. They would go after anybody that just someone pisses them off. Like if Taylor, okay, hypothetically, you know, if Taylor, you know, said something bad about like the Luigi crowd, they would like, harass her, they would attack her, and maybe, you know, take an attempt on her life, potentially. Because people that are right behind Luigi, a fucking assassin, you know, a B-grade assassin, then yeah, odds are they're not very rational, in my opinion. So they would go after anybody. I said it because I'm not sure if they go after specifically people in the media, just more so anybody that upsets them.
Careful who you're making your bed with. They will kill you.
Also, like, watch Asmon's face in this. Like, I noticed recently, whenever he gives like whenever he gives like, you know, a political take, he like forces all his energy. You know, it's 50% on the brain, but also 50% on his face and the muscles. So he's so expressive because he's like, watch out who you make your bed with. It's dangerous.
Let me just be very, very clear. A lot of revolutionaries hate the media too. They'll kill you for sure. You're on the list. Oh, yes, all of them? Absolutely. That's what's crazy about it, is that, like, I mean, yeah, they would do this shit themselves. So this is what I find to be this is so weird to me. Whenever I see, like, people on the internet, they're, like, noteworthy personalities that are trying to stand for Luigi. Do you know?
Hassan, you want to ride behind it? Actually, I can't pull up a clip right now, but I'm sure, yeah, he supported Luigi before.
You know how many revolutionaries out there that would want to murder you? And when it happens, I guarantee you, if somebody goes out and they kill some of these, one person, I'm obviously not talking about her, I'm just saying anybody in general, and you find out that this person was standing Luigi, everybody would say, rip bozo.
I'm sorry, but I think he's right, actually. He's actually right in this situation. People, you know, like behind Luigi Mangione, they're like, sometimes, you know, they're so heartless or unsympathetic that it would be like, oh my god, you know what, a fucking loser. Hell yeah, Luigi. Or hell yeah, Luigi stan or fan, whatever. They would be that careless. Like, to give my own interjection to it, you know, I better say anything so far. With what Taylor said before about, you know, in America, us glorifying serial killers or whatever, that's not really true. You know, if you go on Netflix, you know, and you watch like a series about a serial killer, they don't really glorify them. Like, they don't really sugarcoat it at all. They get like really nitty gritty, you know, like all the fucked up crimes, like cutting off the mom's head and, you know, fucking it. I can't think of like a single series, you know, that glorified a serial killer at all. The one maybe, you know, would be the Zodiac killer, but that's because, you know, we never found them. That's it. We don't, you know, lionize them.
Everybody would say it like that's what you deserve. Because you go around and you create a culture where this is normal, and then now you get got by it. That's it. And it's always if you are rich, if you are a multimillionaire, if you are part of the media class and you think that your name is not on the hit list for a revolutionary, you are fucking delusional. You are delusional.
He looks so angry, poor guy. I feel bad for him.
You're not even thinking, because the only reason why these people support Luigi is they think that they never be on the list. That's the reason. They think they're one of the good ones. You're not one of the good ones.
Okay, guys, hypothetically, if there was a Luigi Mangione political party in the White House, would they be volatile and crazy? I think so, yeah. Any party, like in any base or fan base, that believes shooting CEOs on the streets is a good thing, yeah, they probably don't have like rationality in their mind. Just saying, my opinion.
Not to them, you're not. It's sad. Yeah, they just kill everybody. Well, they kill the people that they feel like are complicit in a culture of oppression, which is upper class people, media personalities, political class, etc. That's what a person who's a revolutionary would want to do. So yeah.
I think criminals, as if we don't have, we don't stand murderers of all sorts, and we give them Netflix shows.
Okay. He gave like a decent take already, and like he's sipping his cola. I feel like there's a phenomenon with Asmongold, because I always see like decent takes on it from him on Twitter, and I'll be like, okay, is he actually that smart? But I realized, okay, the reason why I'm agreeing with him so far, in this clip or for this video, is because this is actually a good take. But most of the time, whenever I see like a really good insane clip from him, which he's very smart, I realize like, oh my god, I don't see him as smart now. It's just that he poisoned the world so much for his own reputation, that the one time I see something good, I'm like, oh wow, it's really good. But in reality, it's actually decent. It's more milquetoast. It's a level above, the worst stuff. So the situation, it's not that incredible take, but for Asmongold, it's pretty good for his standards. Just saying.
Huge disconnect between the narratives and angles that sort of mainstream media pushes.
What is this stupid shit? Internet? Yeah, I'm not a kid. Fuck off.
And what the American.
There's a fascination with murderers, but there's an attraction to Luigi. It's a different dynamic. Like nobody said.
That's a good point, actually. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said.
Charles Manson didn't do it. Actually, they did. Do you know who said it? Again, mentally ill young girls 50 years ago.
I will say, however, in this part, he does hone in on the mentally ill girls, but later on, he really, fucking dips into it. You see what I mean?
Never changes. Isn't that crazy, though? Ain't that crazy? Is that 50 years ago, this exact same thing happened? Just like Ted Bundy, yes. And so it's all mentally ill girls that are supporting this. That's it. Big difference between Luigi and Charles? Listen. I tell y'all right now, and I just say it.
I'll tell all y'all right now.
Luigi
fuck off.
did besides killing the guy. If I knew Luigi, I wouldn't support. You can't kill a guy, right? But everything that he said,
what?
I agree with. Yeah, I mean for sure. And like that's fair to say. I just don't think you could go out and shoot somebody over that shit, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Bro, I'm sorry. After like months and months of people like glazing Luigi like nonstop on social media, I'm so glad that it's so like disappointing, because I'm glad he's saying it, but it's coming from fucking Asmongold. Holy shit, but yeah, entirely, I agree 100%. Like the idea of somebody shooting a person, out in broad daylight, like the street, is probably, like not a good or ethical way, to solve the problems in America. If you go watch that clip again, where he shoots them, there's like some poor woman in the corner where, like, she was like a few inches or, like 2 feet away from the bullet. My point being, like, in like, there could be like a 1 in 100 chance, that retard Luigi missed and fucking hit like a random pedestrian for no reason of like, bad luck. That could have happened. So you probably ought not shoot random people in the street, even if you have a target, for that exact person, you might get someone in the crossfire get hurt as well. Just saying.
Or the Boston bomber on the Rolling Stone cover? That's another great example. Yeah, absolutely. This kind of romantic fascination with murderers has been a thing for centuries. Well, like think about the soft version of this. Why do girls always go for the bad boys and they don't want the nice guy? There's a term for it. It's called hybristophilia.
What the fuck is he saying? Okay, I was on board with him initially being like, Luigi has a very volatile fan base, but now he's being like, okay, you know what the problem is? Dumb girls, dumb girls with dumb big hearts. what the fuck? I mean, I get where he's coming from, you know, because a lot of women or just people in general. No, I've seen guys, you know, fucking glaze Luigi. I think a lot of people, you know, based off, they judge a book by its cover. You know, like I said before, want ad hominem or repeat it 100 times. You know, they like him because he looks good, and because of the gender, but mainly because, you know, he looks good. But if I was Asmon, I wouldn't be like, okay, you know, fuck the argument. The real issue, the real core of the issue is people liking handsome people too much. That's the real problem, you know, at hand. You know, I would say, you know, the first argument he made much more on how you shouldn't stick to people with dangerous agendas.
There's even a fucking term that women have for whenever they like being around a dangerous fucking guy.
It's called aura.
That's the reason. So like, there's a term for this whole thing. It's always Carl. We said, no, I'm just saying, right?
Bro, even his Chazzy being like, what the fuck are you saying? Oh my god.
Public feels.
I might go back to it, but I saw somebody say, I can fix in theory. My god.
And you see that in moments like this. And I can tell you.
I mean, I guess he's somewhat right about Luigi, because, you know, he was documentary have like severe mental issues before about this, before, you know, he did the deed, you know, so I guess somewhat right, potentially.
I saw the biggest audience growth that I've ever seen. Because people
also, we have
about
like 4 minutes left before he gets on the topic. You know,
some journalist is actually speaking to the anger that we feel.
The women.
It's just funny to me to see that, like, you actually think that you're not on the list. Bro, how do you think you're not on the list? You're on CNN.
Guys, if you're in America, drop down in the comments. Is CNN more right wing or left wing? I have no idea. I feel like if they were right wing, you know, left wing, sorry, it would be protected by Luigi or Luigi agenda. If they were right wing, oh my, it would be fucking open game entirely. Yeah.
It's amazing to think this.
Who got her outside?
I saw someone say, "Who's the fat guy?" I have no idea who he is actually.
So,
see, he even went and said it. Listen to what he said.
Is actually speaking to the anger that we feel.
The women who got her outside.
Why is it all women? Why do you think that is? Oh, that's right. We all know why that is.
Nah, I've seen, you know, some fat guys, apart from whoever, you know, also loving Luigi.
Everybody knows why that is.
Of course, New York.
So you're gonna see women, especially, that feel like, oh my God, right? Like, here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous.
Okay, actually, right now, why are we calling him a revolutionary? He shot a guy with a 3D printed gun that sucked ass. It took like 3 attempts, right? Like, he did like the sloppiest job ever as a revolution. Also, he went after, okay, please bear in mind, he went after a CEO of a healthcare company. Is that really fucking massive? You know, it was like one of the worst companies in America from what I remember. But, you know, it was like, you know, fucking integral in the US government. Now we're like, you know, a fucking huge revolution.
Handsome, who's young, who's smart, he's
but he also made a manifesto, you know, like begging or asking for like a restructuring of the government. I guess, yeah, maybe.
That seems that, like, this morally good man, which is hard to find.
Yeah, it's called the Halo effect. And again, it's a morally good guy until he kills you and dismembers your body. And
my God, Luigi wouldn't do that. No, but I agree. I think Luigi would like fucking shoot another person if they do something bad in his eyes. Okay, to be fair, you know, the CEO, not a very good person, some of a scumbag, but still though, does that justify, you know, shooting him with a 3D printed gun that sucks ass? No, not in my opinion.
You know,
in my professional opinion as a commentary channel.
A lot of women, I've noticed this, are really bad at picking guys to date. They say he's a good guy, and then, you know, bad things happen.
Oh my God, that was it as well. Holy fuck. Okay, this argument like sounds really good in the beginning, but like it pivots to like, you know, being like an incel, like women, they pick like abusers. What the fuck is he on? Okay, I know like, you know, Asmongold is off the deep end already, but like if I were him, you know, I would regain my fan base by being more neutral about it. I mean, that first argument he made, pretty good, pretty neutral. Most people get behind it, but like, I'm so, you know, other people will hear this part, the later part, and be like, are you having like an incel argument? What are you saying?
That's it. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, and also the thing is that guys are bad at picking girls too, but at the same time, it's like usually. But at the
same time, they can't beat a man. What are you being serious?
The repercussions of a bad boyfriend are way worse than a bad girlfriend, right?
Maybe. I've seen guys, you know, get mentally depressed or mentally ruined by a bad ex-girlfriend.
Allowed to vote? Yeah, I heard about that. And yeah, calling them the repercussions of a bad boyfriend are way worse than a bad girlfriend, right? They're allowed to vote? Yeah, I heard about that.
Did somebody say like ironically, oh, they're allowed to vote? Is that a joke? I'm sorry, I fucking hate like the Asmongold fan base because Asmongold's pretty bad, but like, he's like a drip and like in the big juicy barrel of like, you know, the hateful fans from him. I don't like him at all.
And yeah, calling a murderer morally good, holy shit, literally delusion. Well, she's saying that they think that. And she's right. It's a bunch of girls that just think the guy's attractive, so everything else gets overruled. It's actually that simple. And again, what have I
also, I'm not sure if he intended for this, but like he posed on a perfect frame, which looks like a psycho.
Always said, the retard's razor. Think of the stupidest reason why something is true. That's why it's true.
My God, again, you know, Asmongold, when he's right, he's 50% right. He took Occam's razor and changed you retard's razor. What the fuck? Isn't like that more? Isn't Occam's razor like more like practical approach? Practical approaches more so than like philosophical approaches. Never, you know, a good match. I mean, the name's pretty good. I like that. Retard's razor, but like still though.
That's the reason.
Yeah, I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me. That's where we are.
That's true. She's laughing, but that is true. Yeah, Of course. And men do.
It's getting more insult coded minute by minute.
You wouldn't like to be
Casey
compared to a
Anthony
Trump supporter, but some of how people cannot understand why people have sympathies for Mangione strikes me as the same as a lot of media not understanding why people support Trump.
I totally agree.
It's because a lot of people are just really,
bro, he said, you know, not supporting Trump, and he was like, huh, what?
really desperate.
They want somebody to take on the system. They want somebody to tear down these barbaric establishment institutions.
The crazy thing is that I just don't think any of that even happened. What I think is kind of funny is that I feel like after Luigi, like it's not like we're redoing healthcare, right? Like we're not.
I'll stop here, you know, because we're done here. The videos, it was a bit too long, right? That's so true, you know. All that happened after Luigi fucking popped that guy is that healthcare CEOs stop, you know, putting the public info or like the public names on Google. That's it, nothing else. So good job shooting a CEO, but it'll probably take a couple more years before the healthcare system in America gets better. I'm sorry, Luigi. Probably didn't help that much. Just saying. But overall, I've been consuming like so many bad clips of Asmon, like I said before, that this is one time where like, you know, he looks pretty good. Not like, you know, not like an insanely good take, but you know, by his standards, pretty good. But what I say, you know, that last argument about, you know, women, you know, being bad at women loving psychopaths, somewhat good point, but you know, when it comes from him, it sounds, you know, like an insult coded argument. Just saying. I mean, considering his fucking fan base, yeah, you know, and his fucking reputation, it does feel like insult coded. Just saying. Also, and the guy that lives in his fucking, you know, squalor of a home with rubbish everywhere, yeah, he does fit that criteria. Just saying. But in conclusion, while I cover any more talks about Asmond, you know, botching a very bad take, potentially I feel like, but for today only, we have some peace where he gave a pretty good take. That's it. But apart from that, I'll catch all of y'all in the next video. See you guys.